welcome back. Let's carry on with the FML and look at one of the littler parts of it. The F, the financial part. If we look at finance and if we look at health and safety requires us to spend a lot of money in terms of making things safe. The companies need to spend a suitable amount of budget on health and safety. Now this comes as an expense to a business which they obviously find quite difficult. They know they have to spend it training, precautions, safeguarding, barriers, installations, equipment, machine guarding, and all these different things. We have to therefore consider that basic safety expenditure is a requirement for all companies. But what about the negative side? When it goes wrong, health and safety can cost a company very much. If we just go through a few of these costs, I hope it makes clear to you why safety is important to do to avoid these negative factors. Let's start with the finance in terms of the litigation fees. If you're going to have a health and safety issue, let's say an accident has occurred or there has been a civil claim, then one of the biggest parts is going to be the litigation. You're going to have to hire a legal team to go through the facts, have many conversations with, and these legal conversations can last for as long as 2 years. Therefore, the legal fees in terms of lawyers, barristers, and other different types of legal costs are going to amount to a serious sum for each company. Further to that, if we lose, we also have to pay the defense fees, and we have the court costs. It's also going to require managers to take suitable time off of work away from their normal task. So that means we've got business interruptions, business losses, and management time that needs to be considered. All these financial losses are going to amount to just the litigation side. If we then look further and we look at the other side, what if the person was injured, i.e. employee or external? It could even be the person who owns the company. That person then has possible rights to issue a civil claim against us in a civil court. With that obviously comes the similar type of litigation fees, defense fees, and lawyer fees. But if we look at it like that, compensation claims can reach up to millions of pounds. Just to consider a simple slip, trip and fall, which is not really that important, can be worth hundreds of thousands. Similarly, if we get fined in court, these kind of costs, i.e. from HSC fines, are now listed to be unlimited. There is a classification where you can work out from the income of a business what the base fine would be, based on health and safety offences and worst case scenario if there were to be death. Therefore, those costs are kind of the base costs which we focus on, but there are many more. If we look things like training costs, redundancy fees, certain times medical bills, because if they go for private medical fees, we have obviously got insurance to cover this, but they're going to be quite expensive. Imagine a burn wound and skin regrafting and surgery to replace and repair. It's going to take a long time and multiple surgeries. If this went through private hospitals, then these fees are going to be immense. Then after that, we have to consider retraining the workplace, stand downs and loss of production. Clients are going to look at us and say, hey, we might have lost business from you because you've now not been able to deliver the works. We therefore want to make sure we cover all these different types of costs with insurances like liability insurance and other types of safeguards. We obviously want to avoid these at all costs. Therefore, by investing in health and safety, we're trying to avoid the negative parts. Furthermore, we have damage to properties, we have damage to equipment, we may have redundancy people where we have to pay out the fees. Due to the fine, we may be restricted in the ability to actually carry on working, and we could obviously find that our insurance premiums going to heavily increase at the end of the year. So all of these factors need to be considered when we're looking at the F, or the financial part of health and safety. I hope this was insightful to you, and come back for more videos.